topic is quite interesting, and I think Komal and Gaurav have quite put it well with integrated design processes and the sustainability parameters that are required for our built environment. Along with that, I'm going to talk about a bit about collaborative future, because collaboration is not just between experts, as Komal said, it is between the entire all the humans, the living beings, and the planet. So, a little bit about SSA. SSA is more than a 30-year-old multidisciplinary firm. And for us, collaborative design goes beyond the design board. It is about uh, social inclusiveness, culturally rich enhancement of the built environment that we have. And it has to be economically viable, not just for at the project phase, but also after the project when the project is completed. So, while we have this entire spectrum of services that we provide, it is important to understand that it has to be having a comprehensive methodology, right? From a holistic analysis at the pre-design stage to integrating technology to have a unified, collaboration between various disciplines, along with having an action plan towards how you want to proceed in the project. So the first that goes across the entire portfolio, and now to understand at the city level and the global level, currently the 68% of the world population is now going to live in just 3% of the land area. That's the urban population, which is actually scary. And but then there is an opportunity because we have to build twice as much more. So while we are now building, which we have to build twice as more, we have the opportunity to regenerate what we have lost. We have already understood that we have misplaced our path, but now we are coming back to becoming sustainable. We were sustainable in our other centuries, but now with the fast 1 century, we have lost the track, and now we are coming back to how do we improve the quality of life and how do we improve the quality of design. While India, we still have 37% of the population only living in the urban land. We have 63% as rural population. So sustainability is not just about saving planet, it's about transforming how we live, work, and collaborate as a society. It's going beyond the built environment. So, what is environmentally responsive design? We have understood that by going green, we can reduce the damage. By being sustainable, we can negate the damage. We can be there at a zero bit. But now we have to go beyond that to reduce the temperature rise, which is right now the climate emergency, where it is said that if we don't take precautions now, we could see a rise of almost 4 to 6 degrees in the next 100 years. So to curb that, we need to have a restorative and a regenerative participation from our side along with the nature. And how do you do that? That is only and only through a collaborative future. So for me, the four key points would be: first is decentralize the systems. Decentralizing means, can we be self-sustainable? Can we be community-based, cluster-based, rather than having our resources coming from far away? Then the second thing is circular design, rather shifting from take, make, and dispose to a regenerate, reuse, and share. The third thing is a human-centric design. After all, the built environment is for the humans and the living beings, obviously for the animals and all of them. So can we have these? How do you make them better? How do you make them healthier? Is by having inclusive designs, having IEC activities, understanding what that particular context of the people require. And the last is collaborative innovation. So through collaborative innovation, where the government and the private sector can come together. Also with technologies like BIM, we can have the various experts coming together, like the architects, the engineers, the contractor, all of them on one platform that can enhance our problem solving. So, as an architect, we have an opportunity to influence this entire process of design, because if the start is good, the end will be good. If you give enough investment in gathering information, analyzing at the start of the project itself, then the cost and the time required to finish the project will be much lesser and much easier to do. And even the post occupancy will be better because you've already thought about it at an earlier stage. So that's the opportunity to influence. And while we have the opportunity to influence at the start of the project, we have a gamut of people who need to be a part of this, because today's problems are not simple. They are multidimensional and they're complex while we are going urban. So it is important to have all of these people at the pre-design stage, at the concept level stage itself, to have a better design integration. So, to give that with then examples, so there have been a lot of collaborative projects that have successfully been done across the globe. Some of them are out here, like to solve complex problems, like Hammarby's Jostad in Sweden. It was an industrial site, brownfield development, which they have regenerated. They brought the entire community together to decide what to build, because they had a bid for creating an Olympic village, which they did not get. But then, how do you use the land in a better way? So they created around 9,000 housing with multiple commercial spaces, recreational spaces. Along with all of that, they have reached to reduce the water consumption by 50% less than a traditional urban area. Similarly, Auroville has been, Italy has been now started talking about using the Auroville concept of the 5-minute city model, which improves your air quality, your physical well-being, because you're walking through the city, you are interacting with people while you are walking. Then comes Mazda. That's one of my favorite project is through innovation through drivers. It's a fantastic example of bringing traditional passive design with technology. Like how our wind towers, they have wind towers, they have these solar cells, they all come together, and wind towers have been there since centuries. So they have helped reduce the water consumption by 50 to 40% and the carbon footprint by 50%. So to come to the end of that, there are other projects as well, like the Himalaya Institute in Beer, where there are more than 1,000 artisans and volunteers who come together and have started building the entire institute by themselves, understanding the importance and the strength of natural materials. Then Kobe in 1995 had an earthquake, and they had to rebuild the entire city. While rebuilding the entire city, they had to understand that the city has to be not just be built for 50 years, how we have our uh, the design based report says that the structural design has to be 50-year safe. But there are buildings which are more than 1,000 years and they are still living. So can we go beyond other thresholds and the parameters that we've set? And the last one is a project by our office, Kohinoor Square, where more than 10,000 users are integrated into this mixed use development in Mumbai, in a very dense area of Mumbai called Dadar, where the density could be anywhere around 1,000 people per hectare. And imagine that particular place did not have any parking. It is a very old organic space in Mumbai. And this particular project that we did helped relieving around half of the parking requirement out there we've provided around 1,000 car parks, giving back to the city. So it is important to understand that collaboration is not just through architecture, it is through every aspect of built environment and to the lives of the people. I would just say that the great design is a collective journey. It thrives on shared ideas, diverse perspectives, and the courage to challenge boundaries together. Thank you.